because this topic is near and dear to my heart. A few years ago, I had no idea what my purpose was. Like, no idea. You know, sometimes you wake up and you're like, God, why am I here? Like, why did you create me? I was there. And because I was there, I found myself at a very, very low and dark place. He's working on it. I found myself at a very low and dark place. I was in a 5-year relationship. I thought we was gonna get married. You know, I'm thinking like, you know, this is it. Because everywhere I go, girl, y'all look cute together, right? Just, you know. But I felt incomplete. And the reason being is because I had no idea who I was. And of course, I was going to my mom's church. You know, sometimes you get a little bored, all right? Because they're not really giving it to you the way, the word, giving it to you the way you want it. So I started church hopping, which I don't recommend y'all young people to do, especially if you don't have a covering, somebody to cover you. So I started going to this church and met a whole bunch of prophets telling me about my future, telling me who I am, what I should do, what I should let go. And here I am, I don't have a relationship with Christ, so I'm believing everything that they're saying. My soul is receptive. I'm like, God, they're telling me the truth. And the next thing you know, I'm doing everything that they want me to do. And everything just came crashing down. My 5-year relationship was over, on the verge of dropping out in college. I'm like, God, I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you. So, took 2 years vacation. I was going to church, but really wasn't church like that. Met some new guy a few years later, started talking to him. I knew it was not gonna work because he was Catholic, I was Baptist. Our vision was different, you know? But because I loved him and liked him, I thought it was gonna work. I thought I could change him. That's how serious it was. But because I was lukewarm in my relationship with Christ, I started to compromise my standards. Hear me? I started compromising my standards. He knew I was a virgin. He knew I wanted to wait. But he was like, you know what? We don't have to have sex, but we can do other things, right? Other things. And so here I am, still a virgin, but engaging in other things in our situationship. And I call it situationship because he never made me his girlfriend. Never made me his girlfriend. So I'm going to his house to chill. Y'all know Netflix and chill. Ladies, are you in the house tonight? Yeah. Okay. So here I am, we watching videos. One thing led to another. And months go on, years go on. Can I tell you that this person just flipped out on me? One night where I said, you know what, I didn't want to do this anymore. He tried to force himself on me to have sex. You might as well call it rape. And I didn't know what to do, you guys. I literally, if my heart could just literally pop out of my chest, it would. So I spent almost a year, 2 years away from this young man, but something kept on pulling me back. I didn't know what it was until I told myself I needed to get out because it became so abusive. And let me tell you, abuse doesn't necessarily have to be physical, it can be verbal. If somebody's talking down on you, telling you, calling you out your name, oh, that's abuse. That's verbal abuse. And so until I gave my life up to Christ, I realized that I was in a soul tie. And we're not going to talk too much about soul tie because I wrote it in the book and I want you guys to get the copy. But because I was in a soul tie, that's what was pulling me back in this relationship. So although I never overstepped those sexual boundaries, I was given a piece of my heart to this young man. Now, just because you don't overstep those boundaries, your heart is on the line. Your soul is on the line. And even though you don't want to give away yourself, you're still giving parts of yourself to that person. Vice versa, you're also taking parts of them with you. Are you guys here with me? That's why we never want to overstep those boundaries because in God's eyes, sex is marriage. It's two souls becoming one. That's why they say you never want to masturbate. Think about it. If two souls are becoming one, if you're masturbating and sex is a spiritual thing, what are you opening your soul to if you're not having sex with an actual person? Think about that. If sex is a spiritual thing where you becoming one with somebody, but if you're masturbating by yourself, who are you having sex with? It's a spirit. So you have to be cautious and mindful of that. So I was lost, I was broken, I had no purpose. And so I want to let you guys know today, the moment that you allow the foundation of your relationship to be based on sex, it clouds your judgment. Now you're probably wondering, well, what do you mean by that? You won't be able to see the person for who they really are. Think about it. The sex feel good, the foreplay feel good. God has thrown you the warning signs. He's telling you, girl, he ain't saved. He's telling you he's cheating. He's telling you he ain't no good, but your judgment is already thrown off. And now the pastor got to come and pull you out. I got to come and pray you out. Why? Because you're already in. You hear me? So when you have sex with somebody, whether you outer course, because that's what they call foreplay. Foreplay is called outer course. Intercourse is when, the man and woman come together. So just because you're not going all the way, it's still sex. I want to read you this definition. A couple engaging in foreplay when they are not married is involved in fornication. It's still fornication. They are starting a process to which they have no rights to finish. Think about that. You don't have no license. He didn't put a ring on it. So you don't have no right to finish the process. So fornication, or should I say outer course, is still sex because you're still allowing yourself to be open with that person. Are you guys still with me, ladies? Yeah. Ladies are in the house. I don't want to be too deep. I'm trying to bring it home because she said we was going to have some adults in here, but I'm trying to bring it down to, you guys are understanding what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, awesome. All right, so not only does it cloud your judgment, but it'll also distort your thinking. You won't be able to make a sound decision concerning that relationship. Think about it. Your friends are telling you to leave, but you don't want to leave. Your friends are telling you what is wrong with this person. You're like, nah, girl, he's good to me, girl. He sent me good morning text messages every morning. What is that? That don't mean anything. Girl, he take me to the restaurant, and what's the point? You're too far in. Many of you in this room today, I don't know who you are, but some of you guys think that sex can heal you from a past broken relationship or maybe a wound. Tonight I want to let you know that sex cannot heal anything. It's not a prescription. Do not use sex as a prescription to heal you from whether it be a broken relationship, whether you was rejected from a boy at school, whether, I don't know what your situation may be, but I want you guys to know that as you get older and you start liking different people, you will get rejected, you will get hurt, but do not allow sex to be a prescription to heal that wound. Only Jesus Christ can heal it, all right? Are you guys with me? So I want to let you guys know that the young lady talked about intimacy, and I like what she said because when you are in a relationship, ladies and gentlemen, it's so important to guard your heart. And what do you mean by guarding your heart? That means you're guarding your lips, because intimacy is not just sex. It's about you kissing somebody, you're allowing them to touch you, you're allowing them, the time that you're giving, all that is intimacy. And so it's so important when you're talking to somebody and you're getting to know somebody, you have to guard these things, all right? All right, so there's one thing I wanted to say to you guys. Also for the men, I know many of you guys feel as if that your identity, all right, might be found, or your worth might be in how many women you sleep with. That's not true. I want to let you guys know that purity is still popular, all right? Now, although I haven't been pure, growing up, but I thank God that I stand here before you, 27 years old. I'm still a virgin, praise the Lord, and it hasn't been easy because, once you tapped in, you played in some waters. Can I be real with y'all? Once you cross those boundaries, sometimes your flesh just be cutting up, okay? Sometimes you're like, Jesus, keep me now, Lord, okay? But you got to be real with yourself, all right? So I'm just grateful for that. So guys, I want you guys to know that a man of integrity, a man of character, a man that's after God's own heart is still popular. So I don't know what you guys watch or who you guys hang with, but a man of integrity, a man of character, a man who is healed and whole in Christ is still popular. Because at the end of the day, a woman is looking for a man that is sold out for Christ, because I need a man that's going to lead me and my family. And if you don't have no God in you, then we're not going to work. You get it? So that's why it's so important that you are sold out for God. If you have people around you telling you, oh, let's do this, let's do that, you might want to cut them off. Are you guys still with me?
Yeah.
All right. So ladies, I want to let you know that if God is telling you to let go of a relationship and you feel like it's coming to an end, it does not mean that you should lower your standards for that person. It does not mean you compromise your purity for that person. Stop giving them physical favors. Put the cookie back in the cookie jar. All right? I'm going to say that again. Put the cookie back in the cookie jar. Fellas, y'all know what to put back. All right? So, I want to encourage you today and let you know that God wants to write your love story without you trying to manipulate it. I'm going to say that again. God wants to write your love story without you trying to manipulate the situation and taking back the pen to write it for yourself. The Bible says that no good thing will He withhold to those that love God. No good thing will God withhold to those that love God. You have to believe that for yourself, that God, I thank you that my husband is on the way. Because your word says to me that no good thing will you withhold from me. So you have to believe that. I don't care how many people around you in a relationship, you got to believe that for yourself, because you never want to compromise that area in your life. You have to believe it for yourself. And please, and also understand that, do a self-assessment. While you're single, while you're waiting on the man of God, ask yourself, will my husband, if he had an opportunity, or my wife, if he had an opportunity right now to watch me and observe me, will he be pleased with what I'm doing in my single season while I wait on him? Ask yourself that. Will he be pleased? Are you watching things on television that you're not supposed to? Will he be pleased? So you might be saying, well, is it fair? Is it fair for me to sit here and live a pure lifestyle while I don't know what my husband is doing? The Bible says in Acts 20, it's more blessed to give someone better to receive. Your job is not to figure out whether or not your husband or your wife is waiting on you or living a pure lifestyle. Your job is to simply work on living properly and with God. That's all you got to worry about. Don't worry about what he's doing, what she's doing. Learn to love yourself. And learn to love yourself and focus on how to love and how to live. God created us with a desire for companionship. God is like the CEO. He is like, this is what he does. So I don't ever want you guys to feel like, well, oh my gosh, Ludi, I messed up because my body was hot. It's gonna get hot because God created us this way. But it's so important that we don't allow those desires to cause us to ignore the warning signs that God wants to show us about somebody. Because the enemy knows our desires, all right? And I believe you were saying that earlier. The enemy knows our desires. And once he knows your desires, can I tell you something? He's going to tempt you in that area. But it's your job to stand firm. When those thoughts come in, you got to learn to cast them down, all right? Are you guys still with me? Are you guys still with me?
Yes.
Awesome. So I want to give you guys practical ways to stay pure. Number one, you want to make a decision. Make a conscious decision that you want to live whole for God. Just because you live in a sex-driven world doesn't mean that you have to follow their precepts. The Bible says, do not copy the behavior of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be different. Be set apart and know that you are called to make a difference in this world. Plain and simple. Do not copy the behavior of this world. Don't allow your lustful desires to control you. Just because you sin in your thoughts, I know some of you guys had questions about that. Just because you sin up here doesn't mean you put those thoughts into action. You guys hear me? Because a sin, it starts up here. And once you put that into action, yeah, things are going to go downhill. And when you sin, make sure that you're ready, or should I say when you engage in whether it be fornication, whether it be outer course, inner course, be ready for those consequences. All right? Fellas, this is for you. 1 Thessalonians 4, 6 and 7. This kind of blew my mind when I read it. Never harm or cheat. I know you guys are young, but just as you get older, just remember this verse when you're in that situation. Never harm or cheat a person's brother in this matter by violating his wife. For the Lord avenges all such sin as we have solemnly warned you before. So God has called us to live holy. So the next time those urges come, fellas, if that's not your property, if you know you're not ready to wife her, take your hands off of her. Because you're violating somebody else's wife. That's the word. That's not me. All right? The next time you want to put your hands on somebody's child, ask yourself, am I ready to wife this girl? Because if I ain't ready to wife her, I mean to take my hands off of her. Ladies, are you still here?
Yes!
Okay? So, knowing your triggers, all right? I think this is for you, okay? Young man over here in the back that was giving your sister problems. I'm calling you out. All right? 1 Thessalonians 4:3. God's will is for you to be holy. Stay away from sexual sin, then each of you will control your own body. Think about that. Stay away from sexual sin, then each of you will be able to control your body. In other words, what makes you hot? What makes you hot? What's your triggers? Is it kissing? Is it holding hands? Is it a certain way he hugged you? Because nowadays, the boys like to hold your girls from the back. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, you know what I'm talking about? Okay, yeah. Okay. Y'all ain't got to say nothing because the pastor here. It's all right, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later. All right? So maybe there's a certain way that he likes to hold you. Maybe there's a certain way he likes to touch your shoulders. I don't know what your trigger may be, but you have to know your triggers. Because I think one of you guys were saying, well, how could kissing, I think it was a piano guy, kissing could very well just be kissing. But sometimes when the kisses are really good, praise God, bringing me back for you. So, I just had a thought, okay? Sometimes when the kisses are really good, you just don't know if you're on cloud 9, 10, 11, you just gone. And next thing you know, just hands just sliding up, like you just don't want that. Kissing could do that to you. Yes, I need music. Yes, bring me back, bring me back. So you have to know, you have to know your triggers. When you are ready to court, and notice I said courting because Christians, we don't date. Don't have nobody dating you for 5, 6 years and they don't know they want to marry you. Ladies, are you in the house? Okay? Because when you're dating 5, 6 years, something has happened. Somebody's slipping, sliding somewhere. All right? Somebody doing something that they have no business doing. All right? So you never want to date somebody for 5, 6, 7 years and they don't know they want to like you. Okay? Fellas, you don't want to date somebody for 4, 5, 6, 7 years and she can't cook. Okay? So, like you gotta know, you gotta test, you gotta see these things. Now I'm not saying go ahead and cook for the person every day, but give them a little taste. Give me a little taste of a little view Kool-Aid, just one time. But you ain't gonna have it every day because I still need the rain. Ladies are in the house. It's a little sample, a little appetizer. All right. So another way to practical ways to stay pure is choosing your entertainment wisely and carefully. They spoke about that today. Monitor what you're watching. Monitor what you're listening, wearing. Sometimes, and there's a verse that I wanted to read here. Let me see if I can find it. I can't find it right now, but it says that basically, sometimes we put ourselves in these situations and then we blame God for what we do. That's what the verse says. So you have to monitor what you're watching and what you're wearing. Ladies, I'm going to get on you guys because I used to do it too. When you used to come to the house, you just had that specific dress that you like to wear. So when you know you're in a season of dating and courting, maybe you may not want to wear that spaghetti strap. Maybe you may not want to wear the little booty shorts. All right? See, I'm a full-figured woman. There's certain things I know I can't wear no more. Fellas, when y'all get older, y'all get buff in the gym because I know y'all not going to stay like that. Sometimes I may not want to wear that. Listen, sometimes I may not want to wear that special cologne. Because sometimes cologne triggers stuff. As you get older, ladies, y'all will understand what I'm talking about. All right? She know what I'm talking about. Pastor may know what I'm talking about too. Sir, you know what I'm talking about, brother? certain colognes, honey, let me tell you, they walk past them like, yes. Hi. That's all, just the cologne. Just the cologne. So you want to be mindful of what you're wearing, what you're putting around, what you are wearing around him, because it may trigger something. Like literally, what are you wearing? Sometimes we gotta just be mindful. Fellas, be mindful. Don't come out there with your muscles straight and then you making it jump. Like that's not what y'all do. You know, when y'all get there, y'all be flexing. Meanwhile, like what you want us to do, just sit here and look at you. Sometimes we may want to touch. Ladies, are you in the house? I'm just saying. So don't come out there with no sweatshirt, with no, what they call it, chemisette. Don't come out there and just making the thing jump, you know. Let me get back to regular because it's taking me back. So ladies, if you, I don't know if you guys are in a relationship, but as you get older, all right? If you just got out of a relationship and your heart is broken, remember now I said choosing your entertainment wisely. Maybe you may not want to listen to Fantasia or Beyonce or I don't know, Mariah Carey. What's your favorite singer? It better not be Kodak Black. What happened now? You know, you may not want to listen to those songs because sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but there's just certain songs I can't listen to because they remind me of a particular person. Okay? They take me back from the time, from the time I was doing the dope. And you may not want to go back to that because you might just want to call that person again. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay. So you may not want to listen to Beyonce when you get out of that broken relationship. All right? If you're struggling with your flesh, you may not want to be watching 50 Shades of Grey. Because I'm looking at this thing, I was like, what? This is a movie? This is like pornography. Like, what? Oh, is it 50 Shades? Is that what it is? 50 Shades? It's not of God. How about that? It's not of God. Maybe you may not want to watch Fighting, was it Temptation? I don't know if y'all heard about that movie, Temptation. Listen, it was not good at all. So you want to make sure that you be mindful. And even, I don't know if y'all got, how many of y'all got Facebook, Instagram? Y'all got to be careful with that too, because pornography is popping up on there. The little memes. I don't have Snapchat, but might be Snapchat. Be mindful of what you're watching. Because I have a block ministry on Facebook. Anytime you want to upload foolishness, I block you right there. Just block. I have like my block ministry has grown, like expand. I'm telling you, anytime you want to upload foolishness on my page or on my timeline, I will literally block you. Because I don't want to log onto my Facebook page and somebody backing it up and doing no. Come on, it's time to get out of that mentality, that mindset. So be mindful of what you're watching and looking at. Again, what are you wearing? Are your conversations uplifting? What are you guys talking about? And texting, how long are you staying on the phone? I don't know about y'all, but back in the days, after 10 o'clock, the saints don't be talking holy no more. All right? When the sun just goes down, it's just, I'm just saying, sometimes the conversations just go right over there. So if you know you messing around with somebody who ain't saved, you may not, and the conversation just, it was supposed to go straight, and it's going this way. Brother, it's time for me to go. Be mindful of what you text and how you texting. Because I messed up in that area. I don't want you guys to fall in that temptation. Because you can't say you're a woman of God, but when he comes, he don't even find God in you. Or, guys, same thing. You can't say you're a man of God, but when she comes, you can't even pray for her. You want to lay hands on something else. Get it together. Ladies, are you here?
Yeah.
Fellas, are you with me? That's all right. That's okay. That's all right. It's okay. Jesus got you. Have it's not a last thing, but have an accountability partner. An accountability partner robs temptation of its power. Whenever I'm messing up or whenever I feel hot, okay, when I used to be out there, praise God, I ain't had no accountability partner. I'm just telling y'all, I ain't had no accountability partner when I was just hot. It'll be raining. I just zoom in the car just be a hot mess. All right? But do you have someone you can trust to inspect that person when you guys start dating? Do you have someone you can trust to inspect that person, talk to that person, sit down and get to know them, see things that you can't see? Because sometimes we be in la la land already. We be right over here, and then pastor can see spiritually. Pastor's like, he ain't the one. No, pastor, but he is. He prayed for me. He prayed for me. He take me out to dinners. Pastor's like, no, I can see more than you can see. So find somebody that can keep you grounded. Anytime you're feeling a certain way, find somebody that's not going to judge you. The Bible says that one who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Who in this church you can trust? There's another verse that says, without advice, plans go wrong, but with many advisors, they succeed. Who can you trust when you're feeling hot? Who can you trust when you feel like you messed up and you can't turn back? Who in this church can you run to?
God.
Another thing, set boundaries. Why do you want to set boundaries? Because the enemy knows our desires and he will always tempt you in those areas. Remember whose property you're touching. Every time you want to cross those boundaries, ask yourself, does this person belong to me? Do I have that contract? If you don't have it, don't touch her. Don't touch him. Monitor how long you're staying on the phone. Sometimes after a particular hour, things don't go right. Communicate with your partner. Once you guys start courting and dating, you might want to let them know, babe, you know what? I'm not comfortable with kissing. I'm not comfortable with holding hands because it makes me a little vulnerable and you sexy, so I don't want to fall. You know, keep it, because you can talk about these things, but you want to make sure that you keep yourself accountable as well. Be transparent with them. Also, set boundaries. You may not, if you're struggling with your flesh, you may not want to have him come over to your house, you know, do a little movies and chill, Netflix and chill. And if he does come or she comes over, you may want to have your mom and dad at the house, you know. He might be sitting over here, you might be sitting over there, but babe, do you like the movie? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all may not get too close, but at least you know his presence. You smell his cologne right over there. Right over there. Okay? So have somebody, if you guys are gonna be indoors, have an accountability partner inside of the house. Or do community events. Serve other people, serve a church, serve the shelters, go somewhere and do things together versus being inside of the home or trying to be around each other all the time. Are you guys with me? Those are things that you can do. Last but not least, you want to repent. Repent means to turn away from. I'm just going to be honest with you. Temptation will come knock on your door. It's going to come. Just plain and simple. It's going to come. But don't beat yourself up. Because the enemy's job is to condemn you, make you feel like you can't ever get back to where you used to be. But God's job is to convict us. The enemy's job is to condemn us, like beat us down to the ground. Make us feel like, you know what, God, I'm a loser. I can't do this anymore. Like I messed up so many times before you, there's no way I can get back on my feet. But you definitely can. If the Bible says, if you confess your sins, he is faithful and he is just to forgive us of all unrighteousness. That's what God said. So it doesn't make a difference what you did last week, what you did 2.5 seconds ago before coming here. If you confess your sins, God is faithful and he's just to forgive you of all unrighteousness. That's the God that we serve. There's another verse in the Bible, I think it's in the book of Psalms and Proverbs, that says that God already forgiven us for our sins, but you have to forgive yourself. Sometimes we mess up so bad, we're like, God said if we repent, he forgave us, but we have a hard time forgiving ourselves. So if you are in this room right now, you know you messed up. Whether you be masturbated, you watch something on TV, forgive yourself tonight. All right? In other ways too, the Bible also says that he separates our sins as far as the east and from the west. Now, I don't know how far the east and from the west is, but God separates us from that. So I know one last one I want to leave you guys with is, what does love look like? Number one, if you guys, get older again, because I think you guys are in what grade? Like middle school, high school? College? Okay, middle school. So when you guys get older, understand that you always want to bring this person before God. The Bible says, Proverbs 3:6, seek his will in all that you do, and he will direct your path. What is God saying to you concerning that person? What is he saying to you? Did you ask God about this person? Or are you still in la la land? Because sometimes we get so happy we forget to pray. I don't know about y'all, but I've been there. You forget to pray, you get butterflies. Girl, he called me last night. You forget how to pray. Seek his will. Bring that person before the Lord. Bring that woman before the Lord. What are his motives? Find out what his motives are. Are you trying to court me? Or are you just trying to date me for 5 or 6 years and play with my cookies, but you don't want to give me this? Like, what's his motives? Watch out for the 7 fruits. The Bible says, love is patient, love is kind. It keeps no records of wrong. Watch out how this person is communicating with you. Is he disrespecting you? Is he want to disappear when y'all get in an altercation? How does he interact with his mom? How does she interact with her mom? You gotta look at these things, because you may just like you the devil. The Bible says, not the Bible, but just because the person goes to church doesn't mean anything. I want to see your fruit. Anybody can quote scriptures. Anybody can sing a song. But does he or she have a relationship with Christ? That's what you want to look at when you're dating someone. Look at how they're respecting you. Look at how they respect other people. Look at how they have a relationship. Because when you have a relationship with Christ, there's certain things and people you just don't want to communicate with. There's certain things you don't even want to do. When I gave my life up to Christ, let me tell you, I was so sensitive, and I'm still sensitive to God. I can hear now. I can see. When somebody want to come talk to me, my friends be like, girl, give him a chance. I can look at them and I'm like, he ain't it. Why? Because I hear and I can see. So that's where you want to be at when you get older and you're ready to date. You want to make sure that you present to him before God.